Shay, let's kick it all down to Rocky Top next, where the Vols just wrapped up scrimmage. They're already on scrimmage number 2 down there, Shane. Offense dominated the first scrimmage. Defense turned it around for the second scrimmage. So that's good news. You're still hearing a lot of buzz, Shane, about Brew McCoy, the transfer receiver, who's still not cleared, my God. We're running short on days here to get him into the lineup, but at least when he is eligible, it sounds like he is going to be ready to go. Walker Merrill is someone that is apparently emerging. I believe is a redshirt freshman for the Vols on the outside, so that's interesting. But I think the best thing we have from Josh Heupel, we'll kick it over to him in just a second, but it sounds like they have got their offensive line situated with they're going to keep Darnell Wright at right tackle and the battle between Mincy and Crawford there on the left side. I think that if you're a Tennessee fan, that's music to your ears because as long as you essentially got 4 or 5 and then your final spot, you know the 2 guys that are competing for it. What you don't want at this point in time is kind of mixing your offensive line looking for the best 5. It feels like they already got it there.
Yeah, and that's one thing people don't talk enough about. They always talk about quarterbacks and, the quarterback controversies and getting reps with the ones, but sometimes your offensive line's a bigger deal, man, because, if you're with the same 5 90% of the time, you know what your left guy's doing. You know what your right guy's doing. You're noticing things, you're picking up things, you're talking to each other, and if you're rotating, it's hard to kind of get that continuity, and at times especially with Tennessee, man, as fast as they run, as mobile as Hooker is, at times he was real bad about holding on to the ball. You want to keep him vertical, and we've got to have that front 5 situated. So this is music, like you said, this is music to my ears.
Yeah, so let's kick it over to him. He talks about that battle, but also I love these comments, Shane, about guys not buying into the hype and competition heating up as we inch closer to the season.
Josh, a couple things. How do you see the left tackle battle going right now?
Yeah, it's been back and forth a little bit through training camp. You guys have heard me say this. At the end of the day, we're going to need both of them, all of them. And it just, you experienced last year injuries, and that's true at the tackle spot. It's true on all 5 spots. Those guys are continuing to compete. That's not going to stop after today. That will happen all the way up until kickoff. Anticipate both of them playing during the course of the football game throughout the season, and certainly in week 1. Who gets a majority of that or what the percentage breakdown is, we'll continue to evaluate as we go through. Both of them have made a bunch of progress from spring ball and really since the beginning of training camp in understanding what we're doing offensively. In the run game, playing with better pad level, being able to create some movement up front. Both of them take major strides in the pass pro side of it too. So, I feel like those guys are continuing to progress as they should.
Are they playing well enough to where you think Darnell Wright will stay at right tackle?
Yeah, at this point, we plan to keep Darnell at the right side.
2 things. So we talked to Jalen Hyatt and Walker Merrill the other day, and Jalen specifically talked about all the praise in the preseason is great, but you got to prove it on the field. Then Walker talked about I'm just tired of not playing. I want to he's motivated to get on the field. When you hear that kind of competitiveness and mentality, what's that mean to you as a coach, and what do you like about that type of mindset?
Yeah, that's the truth, though, right? Jalen's comment about and preseason stuff doesn't matter, whether that's rankings or praise of players, whatever. At the end of the day, we all got to go prove it, and game day's approaching for us. So I like the mentality that, he's going to be purposeful in the way he approaches it, and our team will be too. I really believe that. For Walker, those are 2 great examples of guys that, since we've gotten back from bowl game, and really even before that, just like, this is where I'm at. This is where I got to get to. Having a plan of how I'm going to do that every single day. Those guys are pros in the way that they've approached every day in the building, man. They're competitive. They understand the plan. They have a personal plan of how they want to continue to grow. They're extra every single day. It showed up in the competitiveness in which they've played, and that's with the ball in their hands. It's in one-on-ones. It's with the ball not in their hands, and the way that they're blocking out on the perimeter. One of the things today offensively I thought was just, our perimeter screen game, which is really an extension of the run game. The effectiveness, efficiency of that was really good to see. Those 2 guys had a big part in it today.
All right, Shane. So, hey, everybody might be singing the praises of Tennessee's offense and what they can accomplish, but hell, I like the fact that, so these players recognize, it's basically rat poison, as Nick Saban likes to say. You know what?
Yeah, don't read them clippings. That's don't follow Shane on Twitter is what he's saying, because Shane's got the hype train a rolling. So, no, this is good, man. A little humble pie is not bad, but that just typically means you've got something. And we've heard some players coming out talking up the program. I'm sure that gets pulled to the side and say, hey man, we got to be better than that. You know what I'm saying? I understand you want to pump up the fan base. You want to tell everybody how good we are, but we don't want that. We want to come out here and just show it on the field. And I think that's kind of the vibe I got from Heupel here is like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're working. We're at work. You know what I'm saying? We clock in, we clock out. We have a good day at work, one week at a time. That's the approach that they're going with. And don't get sucked up into them numbers, because I'm seeing it, man. You saw Roman coming out the other day, 10-2, beating Georgia.
Yep.
You saw there was another article talking about Tennessee's the number 2 offense projected this season. I mean, there's plenty of rat poison out there, and if you start believing it, you start believing you're better than you are, then you're going to catch a team like a Pittsburgh or somebody like that that's going to punch you in the mouth because they don't read the same news articles that you are.
Right, and I love the fact. Heupel also talked about the competition heating up, because at this time last year, Shane, the coaching staff was basically saying, who are the 11 guys we can throw on the field with some confidence? Like, they were basically looking for bodies, whereas now it seems like there is some depth at a number of key positions, including linebacker, including potentially receiver, where they're emerging, and running back with some new, fresh faces ready to see the field, where, the projected starters are getting pushed because there may be guys on this roster that didn't get their opportunity last year because they hadn't earned it yet. And now they realize, what they could potentially do with this coaching staff, but yet they still have to go out there and earn it this training camp. And it sounds like people are getting pushed all across the board there on Rocky Top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.